Our data suggests that COVID-19 has an infection fatality rate that is in the same ballpark as seasonal influenza. It suggests that even though this is a very serious problem, we should not fear. Of course, there is still a little bit of uncertainty about the exact number, but it's clearly very different compared to the original thoughts or speculations or preliminary data that suggested a much, much higher infection fatality rate.
Author, Professor John Ioannidi.
There's multiple studies that corroborate this finding. Of course, any of these studies alone is subject to scrutiny, and it needs to be carefully peer-reviewed by other scientists. But the totality of the evidence from data that we have in California, that we are sampling also in Italy, in Germany, in other locations around the world with antibody studies, as well as assessments of blood donor studies in Netherlands and in Denmark, as well as PCR universal screening in women who come to deliver in New York hospitals and in shelters and in air carriers and in other places. All of that evidence points to an infection that is very common, that typically is very mild. Most people have no symptoms. They don't recognize that they have the infection. We need to protect vulnerable individuals, elderly, those who are sick, those who are in the hospital. Many people get infected in the hospital rather than the community. And at the same time, reassure the large majority of the population that their risk of dying or getting severe disease from COVID-19 is very low. It is not null. I don't want to say that there's no problem at all, but for the vast majority of the population, it is something that we should have less fear, and we should be open to deal with it and take steps towards reopening our society with science and with data and with careful steps.